What if Deku was in the Dino Squad Part 2? Now, before I read you guys the story, I just want to clarify something. The individual that Deku went to save from the ocean from drowning did not come in contact with the orange ooze that gave Deku his abilities. So that individual will not have dinosaur powers. Second thing, I forgot to clarify this before Part 1. Explain Izuku's abilities, just in case those people who didn't listen until the end of Part 1. Izuku will have enhanced human abilities, which means he's going to be super strong. He's going to have superhuman hearing, superhuman sight. But when he's a dinosaur, he's going to have 10 times better than that. Basically, magnifying vision when he's a dinosaur. And he's going to be he's going to be very fast. And now, just a quick heads up. You guys may hear some stuttering here or there. But here we go. Oh, hang on. Okay, I had to put my dog away because I really, really want to tell you guys this story. So here goes. What if Deku was in the Dino Squad Part 2? Where we last left off, Izuku was running towards the sludge villain, transforming into his first form of a dinosaur. His talons grew from his feet, his hands grew claws, and his eyes turned a bloodshot red with yellow pupils. As Izuku was getting closer to the sludge villain, and the crowd yelling at him to come back, the sludge villain forcefully made Bakugo use his explosions against Izuku. But Izuku ended up dodging it. Izuku then found himself on the walls 10 feet above ground, with his hand deep in the wall, keeping him in place. Okay, said Izuku. He then began to strategize a plan to save Bakugo. The sludge villain keeps trying to get Izuku, but to no avail. The sludge villain grows more and more irritated at Izuku. Why can't I catch this stupid kid, says the sludge villain. Izuku focuses on trying to find a way to get Bakugo out. Looking at the sludge villain, Izuku remembers back under the bridge when I slashed at his eye and he let me go. Maybe if I manage to cause a diversion of some sort, I can get Bakugo out faster. And so he did. Izuku found a rock the size of his hand and threw it at the sludge villain using his enhanced dinosaur vision, temporarily blinding the sludge villain in his one last good eye. He uses his man, lost place. While the sludge villain is distracted, Izuku then uses his enhanced speed to get Bakugo out of the sludge villain's grasp, and is taking him towards the heroes. But the sludge villain manages to grab a hold of Izuku, pulling him back towards him with Bakugo in a safe place next to the heroes. The sludge villain has had it with Izuku. Because he took one of his eyes, he got him captured by All Might, and he took his hostage. The sludge villain then covers Izuku's body, suffocating him. All Might sees this and buffs out, saying to himself, I have to save that boy. But then something happened that made All Might stop in his tracks. The sludge villain may think he's won, but ho boy, Izuku was not done fighting yet. The sludge villain then began to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, until all of a sudden the sludge villain splatters all over the place with a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex emerging from him. This is Deku, by the way. The Tyrannosaurus Rex give out a loud roar that merely deafens everyone near him. Doing this then renders the sludge villain unconscious. Now remember, Izuku does not lose control when he is in his full-fledged dino mode, so he doesn't go around eating people. The crowd is in shock. So are the heroes, All Might, and Bakugo. Izuku, in his full dino mode, then begins to shrink back into his normal body. The superheroes, police, and All Might rush towards him to see if he's okay, which he is. He's just sore because that was his first time going full dino. They then bring him clothes because he tore them up when he transformed. The crowd and the press try to talk to Izuku about his quirk and how it works, but the heroes escort him to the sidewalk so that he can walk home. He is almost there until he sees Bakugo. Bakugo walks up to Izuku and asks him, "Why didn't you tell me you had this awesome quirk?" Izuku tries to tell Bakugo he didn't even know he had it, but then was interrupted by Bakugo saying, "What, you think you're better than me? All these years, you had this power that makes you change into dinosaur of some sort. And what, you think you're a big shot?" Izuku then says in a raging tone, "That's enough, Bakugo. I don't know where this power came from, okay? It just happened." Izuku then inhales and says, "I know your quirk is awesome, and maybe someday you'll surpass All Might. But just because you're that amazing doesn't make you a cut above the rest. And it doesn't mean that you'll ever need help." Izuku then stops for a second and says, "So, after that encounterment, are you okay?" Bakugo then has a flashback to the time Izuku said that. He then looks at Izuku and said, "Yeah." Izuku then said, "Okay, see you around," then heads home. Inko Midoriya, Izuku's mom, saw everything that happened on the news and asked Izuku if he was okay. And, "When did you get your quirk?" Izuku looks at his mom and smiles and says, "I guess I'm just a late bloomer." Inko then says, "Tomorrow, let's go to the doctor and see what they have to say about this." Izuku then says, "Okay," and heads to bed to sleep. Okay, now I know that this what if video was short, but I just really had to get that out of my system until next time. So, if anyone has any suggestions on how I can make this better, please leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, please like. And if you want more videos, please subscribe. Now, if anyone has anything to say at all, I'll be reading comments down below. Hope y'all have a nice day. Bye-bye.